Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to another one of my reviews. Real quick, I just want to let you know what kind of review this is going to be. I'm not a super technical reviewer. I'm more of a, I wouldn't say a casual collector. I'm a pretty hardcore collector, but I like to talk about these figures more how they fit into my collection and less about like the technical aspects of each individual figure. I don't take apart each individual piece. I tell you what I'm going to use, what I'm never going to use, and I try to keep it pretty grounded. As you can see, the box is already in the trash, ready to go. I'm not a guy who keeps the boxes. Here's my little Black Panther shelf box. This is where I keep the parts. I just took out the parts there. This is the little stand I use when I have a crowded shelf to elevate the figures in the back. I'm thinking about doing that for that shelf over there. So I was going to test that out in this video. I haven't done it yet. And then at the end I like to go through some of the new updates to my collection, which I have two things that I want to do regarding that Spider-Man figure and the video game version. Anyway, before I start the review, check out my podcast. As soon as I'm done with this, we're going to do the It 2 spoiler special. So check that out. It's called The Iron Koob Fights Movies. Check the link in the description. Stay tuned for my monthly Hot Toys updates, pre-orders, and releases podcast. It's not a podcast. I put it on YouTube only. But yeah, it's just a slideshow while I talk about the various figures. What else? Check out my Hot Toys graphic novel, The Dark Knight Legacy, including all those figures up there, plus some custom ones that I made. And Instagram at The Iron Koob for my collection. I need to post some more. I haven't been posting lately, but I'll post a picture of this one when I'm all done. Okay, so let's talk about Shuri. So I actually think it's a great figure. It really stands out on the shelf. Finally, we have something that's not just black or gray or red. Or I guess like muted blue. The only thing about it is, like, I think a lot of people liked Shuri as a character. They didn't necessarily like her in this outfit. We're all just happy to have a Shuri. I think we're going to see another one down the line. So, like, if you missed out on this one, I think you're okay. And the other thing is, like, the battle pose. I don't know. Something about the figure isn't, like, striking. Like, I'm a bit bored by it. I think the head sculpt is great. It actually, like, from prototype to production, it came out really well. I've got natural light here, so I'm hoping it's not all washed out. But I think it's fantastic. One thing that I didn't realize was this jaw piece here is part of the head sculpt. So if you wanted to do a civilian Shuri, this sculpt isn't going to work unless you can modify it by removing that part. I feel like the neck joint is a little wonky. It doesn't sit quite flush, but it's at the back, so you're probably never going to see it. I also feel like her shoulders, like for a lot of collectors who don't take care about this, like you got to push those shoulders up pretty much every time because it'll leave gaps. See how I kind of closed the gap there? Another frustrating thing I had, as you can see, is like it's not easy to put the blasters on her hand. Maybe it's just me, maybe it's just my figure. I'm going to set this down for a second and show you how I attempt to put it back right now on camera. Oh, see, this thing got this thing got pushed down. The peg got pushed down. And then there's a hole in here, which you probably can't see, where there's like a hand in there. And you have to fit the hand into the peg, but her rubber arms kind of get in the way. It didn't really work. Like, that's not really it. But for the purposes, like, it'll stay, you know, because I'm not moving the figure a lot. If I have an earthquake, I would expect that to fall off. Like, I wouldn't expect the figure to fall, but I would expect that to fall. In terms of articulation, I like the way that they did her feet because you can give her like a little bit more of a like weighted pose and it doesn't look bad. This material seems fragile, but I don't think anyone's doing like hardcore poses with it, so I'm not too worried about that. So people are like rubber arms, and rubber arms, yeah, they're a concern. We don't know if they're going to crack. I tried to do just a light bend. I thought I might do like a pose like, you see how I've got that Mark 46 pose with his arms at different lengths? I thought about doing that, but I didn't really want to put the stress on the hand. Or the arm, or the elbow joint, I should say. So, I didn't do it. It's a pretty even one. I feel like you almost have to do this pose with her, because everything else she comes with is pretty boring. I don't really like to mess with batteries, so I didn't. I'm not going to use that. She has a nice assortment of hands, so they didn't cheap out on that. Like, you got every hand that you would possibly need. Here's the healing thing. If I ever do like a Marvel graphic novel, this could come in handy, but as on the figure, like, I'm not going to display this instead of that, you know? So in the box it goes. Extra hand pegs, extra like little metal things for that. You got the spear, which is cool. I actually think I might prefer her with this, or maybe I'll give it to T'Chaka to like hold while he's sitting on the throne. I don't know. If I decide to put her arms down, then I'll probably pose her with this instead. But it just doesn't say like Shuri. Like, that's not her character. She's a scientist. So, and honestly, if she wasn't in Infinity War, with this outfit, this would seem like, you could tell it's not the what's the word everyone uses for like the ultimate version of her, you know. In Infinity War though, she wears Nikes. She does not wear them in Black Panther, so it's not here. Some compliments should be made about the hair detail. It looks fantastic. It looks real. I mean, you could tell it's plastic, but it, like, you know, from like this far away, it looks great. It also helps to have the high hair with the huge height disparity with Black Panther. I mean, I don't think anyone's going to not buy the figure because of that, but she is on a shorter body, and so is Hela. Like, I wish that they would, I know like Black Panther's a little, I'm sorry, Black Widow is a little shorter, but I wish that they would create some new bodies for the female figures, because, you know, I'm not saying like equality, but I'm not making that argument. I'm just saying, like, make the figures look like the actors, like the likeness, you know, and height is a big deal. I wouldn't mind a shorter Iron Man. I'm okay that he's on par with the rest of them height-wise, but if he looked more like Robert Downey Jr., I'd be okay with that too. But for the women, like, for them to all look undersized, especially like Cate Blanchett, you know, she was physically imposing. Shuri is not so physically imposing, but the actress is pretty tall. So, anyway. So I'm putting these hands back. I know there's not a whole lot to say about this figure. That's the thing. Everyone's like drooling over it. The likeness is great. The outfit is great. The execution is great. But it's for completionists only. Like, you get this figure if you got the rest, and you need a Shuri, because if you're like me, you're trying to buy at least one version of every character in the MCU, which, given all the like freaking announcements at D23, like, I had a plan for what this whole shelf area was gonna look like, and now I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. I might end up selling off like some of the doubles I have for Infinity War or something. Like I had 2 shelves for Thor over there. There's like Thor and Odin and Loki and Hela, and then here I have like an Infinity War shelf, which, you know, isn't. I still have extra space, so I'm spreading them out a little more. But Odin might have to go behind, or Hela will have to go behind, because I can raise her up since she's so short, and he has the staff, so he can't be raised up. And then that'll free up a shelf, like things like that. Moon Knight, I'm excited for. I'm gonna call it right now. Miss Marvel is probably gonna be Naomi Scott from Power Rangers and Aladdin. She is Middle Eastern and is used to these big budget movies. Like, if it's not her, I'll be shocked. So I'll probably buy the figure. I'm a fan of her, and also I'm Middle Eastern, so, you know, it's not a lot of representation, so that's pretty cool. I liked her in Aladdin. And Miss Marvel should be cool. Hopefully they give her some more personality than Captain Marvel so far. Like, I'm saying I hope they don't do like an amnesia thing where we don't get to know her because she doesn't know who she is herself, and yeah, whatever. Who else did they announce? She-Hulk. I'm not a huge fan of her, but I could definitely see something like that coming around. It might be better off to do like a female Marvel character shelf as opposed to like by franchise, because I have the Defenders up there, but they may not even be canon anymore. And to be honest, I would be okay with parting with them. I did mod that Daredevil a lot, and the Punisher is one of my favorite figures. But you know, if he's not really the Punisher, to me, Hawkeye after the snap is Punisher. That's the Punisher of the MCU, and he has a little redemption arc. And you know, the only thing about that is you don't get a Punisher that lasts because he has a redemption arc. But that's Punisher. He's killing people, and he's unhinged, and it would have been nice to explore that, and I guess that's what the Disney Plus thing is. So if he gets a cool costume that's not Ronin, then I might look into buying that. What else? Okay, so I'm gonna keep recording here, so you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm gonna try to put Shuri behind T'Chaka with the arms raised, and I just want to see how that looks, because I want to put Killmonger on the opposite of Black Panther, and so it's a little crowded, you know. Killmonger may have to go to like a villain's shelf. Oh, you can see that I put the Civil War head on that Black Panther body, if you're wondering why it looks weird. So here's my shelf raiser. I've had people ask me, hey, where'd you get these shelf raisers? I got them from a company in Ohio, and they seem to have gone out of business. But you can just order acrylic shelf, just order acrylic glass, and it's 14.5 because a D12 is 15, so I got it a little shorter. 14.5 and then 2 inches and 2 inches. So let's, it's a clutch grabber. Let's move this guy out of the way. Let's see how this works out. I have a feeling it's not going to work out, but push it pretty far back. I mean, ideally I would just, see, it came loose again. Hopefully you guys, actually, let me just tilt this over so I can see what you guys see. The paw thing came loose. There it goes again. This is really annoying. And that wasn't a good sound, but the one good thing about her being short is you don't have any problems there. She might have to go on a black oval stand, unfortunately, to fit back there. Like, that's just not quite gonna fit. And then you have T'Challa. And he might have to go on an oval stand eventually too. And okay, you could fit Killmonger here. That's probably gonna cover Shuri, unfortunately. Is that acceptable to you guys? I mean, it's not ideal, but when you have a large collection and limited space, Shuri's going to be one you can only see if you like crouch in front of the thing and actually want to see her. Most people who don't collect, when they come into my room, they just look at everything. They don't really look at one specific thing, not usually. So it's more like she's probably, like, I'm freaking out about nothing because it's really just for me. Like, do I care? And if I'm completely honest, I don't. For all the reasons I just said, like, she's a, that stupid wrist. She's a collectionist figure. And that hand is really annoying. I think, yeah. even the spear would be too tall there. It would hit the top, so. I'll have to repose her at some point, but I think I'm okay with this. I think I'm okay with this for now. The pose, I mean, I need to futz with it a little bit, but and he's not centered either, which is kind of annoying. What are you gonna do? Alright, let's look at Iron Spider. So I said in the comments last time, someone asked me how did the legs hold up in that pose, and I said it's time to check it out. It's been here for over a month at least, I think. It's been like that in that pose. Might even be longer. So I'm gonna put that right there. For you guys that haven't seen my previous videos, here's how I store my pieces. I've got a little space here. These are little toolkits. This goes right in there. Goes right in there. And that's it. Okay, Iron Spider. Let's see what your legs are made of. Oh, I actually needed a part. Ooh, that doesn't look good. But honestly, it doesn't look that bad right now. Like, it's a little, I think it just needs to be like messed around and allowed to breathe a little bit. I'm going to go back to the pose I originally had him in. He doesn't stand too well on his own. Let's check his butt. His butt has a little more creasing in it. But honestly, not that bad. Could be way worse. Let's see if he stands on his own while I grab the parts. If you saw my Instagram, you saw that I post him with double fists. Alright, I'm just going to put him on the stand. Oh, for God's sakes, come on. I just want to... He's going to fall. Alright, I give up. I don't mess around with no stands in Earthquake, California. Never know when it's going to come. Everything's on a stand. Alright, I dropped his shoulders. I gave him some fists, a little bit more of a power pose. There we go. Turn him up a bit, just a little bit. Give him a little, like, ready to rumble kind of vibe. to mess around with that a little more later. Take that head off. He has a little bit of a giraffe neck, but it's the only Spider-Man I have. So I like to display the Tom Holland sculpt. This is another one that goes in my Infinity War shelf, but because I have some empty spaces right now, I gave him his own shelf, especially now that he's on his own again. This could be tilted a little better. I like that pose. And look at the legs. It's fine. A lot of people worry. I will say this. I think the weather and climate that you have does have an effect on like paint dryness and whatnot. Like you shouldn't have direct sunlight on the figures. I know I do. But I actually have blackout curtains. I just open it when I do the review because yeah, for obvious reasons, but I close them most of the time so they don't get hit with direct sunlight. Alright, the next one is that video game spider pose. As you can see, he's in quite an extreme pose. I'm a huge fan of the game. I'm really excited for those Far From Home figures though too. Mysterio just got announced. That's awesome. And the red suit Spider-Man. The red and black suit, I should say, sorry. Okay, so yeah, there's a lot of creasing up here. Let's see how he fares in the leg department. Trying to put the light, my arm is blocking the light. Okay, so not perfect. A lot of bunching up at the butt, some bunching up at the knees. Doesn't look great, but it could also be it could also bounce back. I've put him in that pose basically since the day I got him, which is the day after Sideshow started shipping them. Let me get his parts case out. He's a pretty tall guy. He has his own shelf right now, but eventually he will be a part of my video game shelf alongside Arkham, Batman, and Joker. Okay. So let's come up with something cool for this guy. Because, you know, to me he's not worth as much as the other figures, which means that I'm going to have some fun posing him. Like I'm gonna enjoy this figure. So I know a lot of people are like, oh, the suit, whatever. I bought this as an impulse buy. I want to do some cool poses with it. So let's think. I want to do like a cool swinging pose. Something like that. I know I don't like that neck crease when you lift the shoulder up. Maybe you could do it that way. have to do it this way. So let's swap this hand out with this hand. Okay. Turn it down, just like that. Slight bend. Yeah, it's really pulling here, which I don't like. And this one still has the web hand. Let's give that a shot again. That's it. That's a pretty cool pose, isn't it? I think I might have to reverse this. Oh, you can't even see what I'm doing. Ah, that's annoying. You know what? This might help. That's pretty cool. Okay. Cool. I'll keep that for now. Put these things back in. All right. And I'll quickly update you guys on some new additions to the man cave. So I got Aladdin as a steelbook, and I'm actually really into steelbooks. I think they're cool, so I canceled my Amazon order of Far From Home, and I ordered the steelbook from Best Buy to match my Endgame one. The rest are not steelbooks. I don't have steelbooks. I also bought these Fantastic Four Omnibus books. Pretty expensive. I've actually never read them, and I'm told they're the best versions of Fantastic Four, so I'm excited to check that out. And I should be getting the Far From Home art book soon. Oh shit! I didn't do the art concept art from Shuri. So if you're interested, keep watching. Let's grab it. Let's see if there's any cool designs. Come on, Wakanda. Discover Wakanda. Looks like an infomercial. All right. I'm looking for Shuri. I think I found her. Ramonda Shuri. The black, not bad. I mean, I could see them doing something like this if she becomes Black Panther. This I might even like more. Pretty cool. I like the more detailed stuff. That looks like a ceremonial dress. That looks a little too simple. That's another Black Panther outfit. That's pretty cool. That looks like a spy. It's not bad either. I like how much bigger the Panther gauntlets are. That almost looks like Nakia. This is closer to what we got. Looks like more silver accents on this, which I like. Nah, I don't like that. The hood's not bad. That's very Black Panther-ish. It's cool. It's just like she looks like Black Panther, so I'm not, you know, it's better that she looks like herself instead. But damn, there's a lot here for her. Hairstyles. I like what they did. This could be interesting. Actually, that would have been kind of cool. Kind of went with that. Yeah. Okay. Alright, I think that's it for me this time. I will catch you guys for the next figure, which I have no idea what it'll be. Nothing I've ordered seems to have been released. Killmonger should be next, as should be Gamora. And then Ant-Man and the Wasp at some point. But yeah, nothing that I've like ordered has been released lately, which is fine because I just got a ton of it. I got that Spider-Man one, I got Maul, I got Shuri, I got War Machine Mark IV was my last review. And I still have like 20 more on order, so I'm okay with them being paced out a bit. Alright, see you guys next time.